A WWE star has announced a departure from WWE, John Cena's SummerSlam plans have been revealed, and a championship changed hands on SmackDown. Stay tuned for the news. So we're going to kick things off with some news about a WWE star who has announced they're leaving the company. Taking to Twitter last night, a former Divas champion and NXT Women's champion announced they'll be leaving next month. Of course, we're talking about Paige.
Yeah.
Of course, Paige. She just put a statement on her Twitter feed last night saying, "Paige here." With it, she just said the thing. She said the thing.
Say the line.
Do the line. She said that on July 7th, it will be her last day with WWE. She said, "I'm so thankful and I appreciate the opportunities that the company has given me. I will always be appreciative of the company that took in an 18-year-old British pale emo girl that didn't look like your average diva, giving me a chance of a lifetime and making me feel like a superstar. I know after my neck injury, taking me out of in-ring status, it was pretty hard to keep me around for as long as you did, and for that, I'm thankful too." She's, of course, referring to the neck injury she suffered. I think, was it December 2017 house show?
She'd had problems before, and she kept coming back, and it was like, okay, this is the time everything's going to kind of line up, and then it would happen again, and eventually, it happened at this house show, and it was bad. That was it, and we had the emotional in-ring segment from her, and from that point onwards, it was really sad, wasn't it? Like, career cut so short.
Like, she was 25 when she retired. She's only 29 now, but she retired officially the night after WrestleMania 34 back in 2018. Yeah. It feels like so long ago. She's been out. I mean, it is a long time. We've had. The world has changed since then. But what else did she say, Sam?
She went on to say, "Thank you, WWE Universe. You guys are the most passionate group of fans I've ever seen. Hope you continue to stay on this journey with me. I think the toughest part, weirdly enough, is having to let the Paige name go. But Saraya is a hell of a name. Kudos to my mum for that one. For FYI, I'm not saying I'll never be in the ring. That day will most certainly come again. Wherever the return may be, thank you, WWE, Saraya."
So she not only has announced that she's leaving WWE, but a little tease, maybe?
So I don't even call it a tease. She said it's going to happen again. So I think it was one thing where, we had Daniel Bryan return, and we've sort of, from that point onwards, we've had Edge return, and it was always like, oh, maybe we're going to see Paige one day if she's able to do it. I'm not surprised that we may see her wrestle again and it be elsewhere, because we've heard WWE are quite stringent, even in situations where the person may be perfectly fine. It's more like they
want to be better. They're better to be safe than sorry,
exactly.
And especially when an injury that's to do with someone's neck. Edge and Bryan seem to have been the exceptions to it. Maybe,
but again, apparently Bryan got to a point where it was outside doctors were going, "Yup." And it took all of that kind of personal investment in that time in order to turn back around to WWE and go, "Come on, I'm allowed to wrestle."
I'd like to see Paige get back in the ring. She's one hell of a talent, and it's been a shame that her career was cut so short. As we said, 25 years old. She's 29 right now. She's got a whole career ahead of her. She could have longer.
Whereas I'm 31 and I'm just over the hill. I'm like...
Maybe you'll get your big return to the ring, Sam.
Yeah, I'll get my big debut, like, maybe next week, and then a big return, like, a week later.
Big pops.
It'd be great.
So yeah, hopefully Paige or Saraya will be back in the ring.
And fingers crossed, fully fit, safe, and ready to go. But
it is a shame she's not going to get called Paige.
She's such an exciting talent, though. I think that this could be major headline news pretty soon.
Speaking of exciting talents, John Cena is coming back to the WWE. It was announced on Raw a few weeks ago that he's coming back on the 27th of June. And it seems Dave Meltzer might have revealed some SummerSlam plans for him. It was in the Wrestling Observer this week. It's not been confirmed by the company. The talk in the wrestling industry is that it's going to be Cena and Theory. I keep wanting to call him Austin Theory, but he's
I was saying this the other night. We sat watching Hell in a Cell, and I was like, "Oh, it's Austin," and then up comes that it's just Theory. I was like,
"It's Theory."
Oh God.
It's an odd change, but I guess it's marketing.
There's already an Austin.
His name's Austin, so Yeah, so we've got Theory versus Cena on the cards for SummerSlam, it looks like. I think the idea here seems self-explanatory, but to bring Theory up to that level.
Yeah, and we hear a lot of talk that Vince is really high on Austin Theory to a degree that hasn't been seen since John Cena. You know, we've certainly seen Vince invest a lot of time on screen into Austin Theory. Austin Theory, of course, being involved with the whole egg mystery and onwards, and you know, the big Mania moment with Vince, Pat, all of that.
Yeah.
So I think that this could be a sort of initial. Well, maybe the start of the passing of the torch.
I mean, it would be really cool to see. I mean, we've seen a little back and forth between Cena and Theory on social media. I think the most notable was Theory called him out and Cena was like, "You're doing great, kid." I was like, okay. We're getting a tease of something. I would love to see this match. I think it will, will be fantastic.
I think that, you know, Theory's just waiting for that moment. He's such a good all-rounder, and, you know, it's not like... Because Cena's also a very good all-rounder, but Theory, you know, Theory has, I don't know, it's slightly more refined. He's able to do more high-flying things. I just want to know where this is going to be in 10 years. I want to know where WWE is going to be, because... part of me's like, Theory's going to be leading the charge, and part of me's like, he's going to have to be much bigger if Vince is going to still be around, surely.
He's a big boy, though. He is a big boy. He can just do things that are really cool. So, yeah, it would be really cool to see this match. A bit of a clash of styles, as you said. Yeah. And Cena's admitted that Theory can do things in the ring that Cena could never do. But, yeah, this match could add a lot of star power to SummerSlam, something that WWE seems to be lacking at the moment because of all the injuries, because we have an update on Cody Rhodes' injury. During last night's SmackDown, WWE confirmed that Cody Rhodes had undergone successful surgery to repair his torn pectoral. It's very hard to say. Torn pectoral. WWE has also given a time frame for the recovery. It's revealed that due to the nature of the injury, Rhodes will be sidelined for 9 months.
One whole baby.
Cody's off for a whole baby. A whole baby. Where would this place his return, though, Sam?
So March 2023, which is is that like a week before WrestleMania?
Possibly a week before
like
WrestleMania.
2 weeks. Yeah, it's like just before Mania. Is Cody going to go back to back big Mania return?
Vince is like, Seth, we've got an opponent for you, but I'm not telling you who. Just do it again.
It's not Cody, is it? No.
It's not Cody. Which is quite strange, though. It's being that 9 months. Because generally for this injury, it's about 4 to 6 months.
Yeah. I mean, this is going to immediately lead to, well, did the match exacerbate it? Should it have been happening? Should it, like... I don't know, you know, we're likely never to find answers like that out. It's just one of those things that, you know, companies will divulge that people are injured, but they're not exactly going to be like, and it was this moment that made it happen and made it worse. It could also just be that the tear itself, initially we heard that Cody kind of semi-tore it. And was just going around with it semi-torn for a while without even realising. So it could be just a build-up of this tear, and it's gotten worse and worse. Because, I mean, at one point over last week, his arm was just like purple,
it was all purple
all the way down.
It was
so it was gnarly.
Not nice to look at.
It was gnarly.
But of course, if it's going to be in line with a normal injury recovery for this, it could place him at Royal Rumble time. But if WWE's to be believed here, we won't see him until WrestleMania.
And, you know, they might just throw out the 9 months there because, well, 1, for safety, 2, if he shows up any earlier, like, say, at the Rumble, at a big spot returning, who is it gonna? Cody Rhodes?
Takes me back to 2018 with Cena being like that at the entrance ramp, comes out the big pop in Madison Square Garden.
Especially if he comes out right after another AEW star just jump ship and debuts on the Rumble. Could you imagine?
That would be wild. That would be wild. We're fantasy booking now.
Bill Goldberg, get in AEW, then get back to WWE. Let's make it happen.
We are going to end on some news. Gunther, whatever you want to call him, how Michael Cole switches every week. Gunther has successfully picked up the victory over Ricochet, claiming the Intercontinental Championship on SmackDown last night, ending Ricochet's reign at 98 days. This is, of course, Gunther's first main roster title. Yeah. He held the NXT Championship. Can you remember how long for?
It was something obscene. It was like over 700 days.
It was crazy. It was a crazy long title reign. But not only this big victory comes after a report from Fightful that revealed how backstage officials view Gunther. Yeah. Do you know what that report revealed, Sam? It revealed that while his NXT Championship reign impressed people, it was his recent move to North America and his commitment to dieting and training that has led to this big
I mean,
push?
he looks phenomenal. Like I can't believe how quickly his physique has changed and everything. And you know, making the full-time jump to WWE over in the States, I think it's weird because wrestling is quite an honor-based thing. So I guess you get out of it what you put into it, right? That's the kind of deal with honor-based things. But I think if you show that you are willing to go that extra mile for the company, then the company kind of like, okay, thank you. And then it's like, it gets you that kind of little first leg up. But at the same time, the match was great. I loved
it was a really good match.
Ludwig almost getting involved on the outside of Ricochet, just flattening him, and then it all sort of going wrong from there.
But the chops. Every time I see them,
like a shotgun.
I mean, even when he was in the independent scene, it was like that was the thing.
It's just.
Yeah, keep silent. Oh my god! And so basically, he's been impressing a lot of people of influence in WWE. One of them being Vince McMahon, who's personally enjoyed his ring work, and you can kind of tell
his selling's great, and he knows where to be. He's got very good ring mentality.
Yeah. Well, that's all the news we have for video one. Make sure to stick around. We'll have a video this afternoon filled with more lovely news. And remember what's happening tomorrow.
Oh, at 1 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. Cultaholic. YouTube.com/cultaholic/live.
Yeah, you got it right this week.
Got it right. We've got Hell in a Smell 5. And this might be actually the worst thing we've ever done. It's bad. It's real bad.
I don't want to miss this.
1 p.m. UK time onwards.
I mean, that's all. So stick around for news and stick around for that tomorrow. So
he's going to hate us. He's going to hate us so bad.
He does already. We'll see you later.